How do you deal with that when you have so many countries that deserve our time and our respect? So he decided he would pause it, start at 10% for everybody, right? But you saw also how he dealt with China. So he wasn't worried about the market per se. What he's worried about is that China is retaliating and has no interest of treating American fairly. Reciprocal tariffs stay in place. They are 10% across the board on all the countries, right? We paused on any numbers that are above 10%. And except for China, of course, who retaliated. And then, of course, you know what's going on with China because they've retaliated. And the president was very clear. If you retaliate, you will feel what he thinks. And they feel what he thinks. So there's 10% reciprocal tariffs across the board, but we're not going above that. We're letting each country come in and let's negotiate fully and completely.
Can you say definitively that it wasn't the direction of the markets that turned Trump to make this 90-day pause?
It was not. I will happily say definitively, it was not. Donald Trump is in charge of these policies in this direction. He is the greatest negotiator and the greatest person who understands these are his goals and his objectives, and he is executing them. And so he said yesterday, or the day before yesterday was the first day he said, and he put out a truth that said he was willing to negotiate. And then yesterday he told us all he'd be bespoke. And then we had so many calls after he said he would do bespoke negotiations. I mean, it just became crazy, the amount of calls we got, that it was impossible to be respectful to all these wonderful allied countries and to do that. So how can you be respectful when a country says, I want to come and talk? I will do it. I will be reasonable. I've analyzed it and we will come and talk. How do you deal with that when you have so many countries that deserve our time and our respect? So he decided he would pause it, start at 10% for everybody, right? And let's go negotiate with all of these great countries and let's see if we can do great deals for America, much better deals for America. But that's the model. He thinks resetting American trade policy is fundamental, right? It's fundamental. He said it during the campaign trail. He said it after he was elected. He said it leading up to Liberation Day. He announced Liberation Day, and he did not bend. But what happened is the scale of those countries who want to come and negotiate with us is so great that it's the incredible respect and kindness of the president that says, I want to treat these countries with great respect, and I'm going to. So let's put a pause on, and then let's negotiate with them. But you saw also how he dealt with China. So he wasn't worried about the market per se. What he's worried about is that China is retaliating and has no interest of treating American fairly. That's how they've acted, and he is acting accordingly.
Are you talking to China, Mr. Secretary? I know she and Trump are talking, but are you? You didn't say because they want to make their boundaries. Well, it's not about. I said,
Tariffs are going to hurt everybody who's affected. The tariffs will also hurt the Americans. The American people are going to feel it. We just beat inflation, and now it's going to come back with this ugly head because costs are going to rise, prices are going to rise, and there is a major compromise of the ability of the working people and consumers to be able to afford, and they're being hit on both sides. Higher costs for whatever they buy, and they're going to lose their jobs.
This is very, very hurtful to the U.S. economy. You cannot have an economy, a more insular economy, kind of survive on its own and be competitive on its own. This time and time again, tariffs have shown that essentially they erode the competitiveness and the productive capacity of an economy. So to answer your question, I think it's painful for all the economies, but just as much for the U.S. I think in the long run, this is just as bad for the U.S. economy.